Now, my first guest today is one of the world's great rock guitarists. And tonight in the Mandela Hall in Belfast, his exceptional contribution to the music industry will be recognised by the OEA Legend Award. Of course, I'm talking about Belfast guitarist and member of Def Leppard, Vivian Campbell, who is also celebrating 25 years with the band. And I'm absolutely delighted to say that Vivian is with me now. It's great to meet you, Vivian, I have to say.
Likewise, Jerry.
Heard so much about you all the years.
All good, I hope.
All good, it was all good. How long are you home for now?
Been here a couple of days, but still hammered with jet lag, as always. And heading up to Donegal, probably on Monday. Family have a home up there. I've been going to Donegal since I was 4 years old, and it's always great to go there. And
how often do you get back to Belfast? Because you must see some changes in this city.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the city has come on leaps and bounds, indeed. Yeah, and it's all good. I'm happy to say, who would have thought girls in short skirts and wine bars and stuff like that, Didn't have that in my day.
When you left. What age were you when you actually left?
I was 20.
You were 20. So you did stay here for the first 20 years.
And now I'm 22, so it's like, time flies.
It wasn't a great music city then, though, was it?
It wasn't. I mean, it's unbelievable, actually. I think this whole thing about the OEA award, I'm very flattered about it, but I think more than anything else, it speaks volumes about how far this country has come, and not just the country, the city, the creative community, the arts community, and the fact that we're having an award show and this the OEA Music Centre, is such a great resource for upcoming musicians. When I was starting, I couldn't even find a guitar teacher. Yeah. I had to teach myself. I went to the Ulster Hall and watched Rory Gallagher and bought his album and dropped the needle and tried to figure out how he was playing this and that, the other, And in many ways, that was a good thing for me, because I really think when you're a self-taught musician, you really get inside it. You have to learn the inner workings of it, necessity being the mother of invention and all of that, as opposed to somebody just showing you how to do something. So I'm not bemoaning that fact, but it's incredible how far this city
the whole city has come. Yeah, and it's a wonderful music city at the moment. Great venues and great artists around at the moment. What age were you when you first joined the group? It was Teaser or Sweet Savage?
Well, every band was called Teaser.
Every band was called Teaser.
Well, I think because I think that was a very common. It's like calling your dog Fido. It's the first thing that comes to mind. So yeah, I think I had a band called Teaser when I was about 14. When I was 15, I met Trevor Fleming. He's unfortunately 7 years ago, Trevor passed away, very young. But so I was 15 then, and Trevor and I started writing some songs. Trevor introduced me to Remy Haller, who became the bass player and singer in a band called Sweet Savage. We formed this band, Sweet Savage. We found a drummer, Davy Bates, and we did what we could. Back then we'd open for every rock band that came to Belfast. We opened for Motorhead, for Wishbone Ash, for Thin Lizzy countless times. We performed at the first Slane Castle Festival. We were the first band on in 1981. Wow. We went to the UK several times and opened for bands over there.
Was that the height of your ambition then? Did you think, well, I have it with Sweet Savage, this will do me?
Well, no, not at all.
Not at all?
No, I always wanted to be. I wanted to make my career as a guitar player in a rock band. I've been very, very fortunate that I fulfilled that dream. Actually, several rock bands, as it happens. Sweet Savage, we were trying to get a record deal. We were really trying to do it. And, I think the focus on Northern Ireland at that time was more to do with new wave music, Terry Hooley and Stiff Little Fingers and the Undertones and stuff like that. I think a band called the Mama's Boys were the only two real rock bands giving it a go then. It was a little bit more difficult back then to get the industry's attention. Being over here, we were a little bit removed from it, We tried. I think we came really, really close to doing it. It happens that in years afterwards, Metallica covered one of our songs.
It shows you how influential Sweet Savage were, looking back on it.
Well, that whole movement, they call it the new wave of British heavy metal. That's when bands like Def Leppard were coming up, Sheffield, Iron Maiden in London. They're the two biggest bands that came out of it. Now, Joe Elliott would take exception at me saying that Def Leppard were part of that movement. but in terms of the time frame, that's when Def Leppard were coming up. They were very much the contemporaries of Sweet Savage. We looked to them, to see how it was done. And we tried, and we came really, really close, and then we gave it a go. And then I was very fortunate that I got noticed by somebody, and somebody said something to someone else, and I got a call, and I got an audition for Dio,
For
the original
Dio,
Dio band.
Everybody remembers Dio.
And that's so I was 20 then, and I went to Los Angeles, and I've had the misfortune of being there since.
And have you not come home since then? Have you been
I
there?
love being home.
Oh, well,
obviously. I come home a
has
lot,
that been
but
your home since then?
That has been my home ever since, and I never meant to stay, and I still don't really like that city. I tolerate it, and I think the reason I've managed to tolerate it is because I travel for a living, so I'm not there all the time. And it's not all bad. It's just it's not my kind of city. It wouldn't be the first choice for me. If somebody were to say to my teenage self, where would you like to spend your adult life, I would never have said Los Angeles. I have children there now, which is why I'm there. And
will you stay there?
No, I've less than 2 years on my sentence, and my younger daughter goes to college, and then I'm free to go. I just bought a home in New Hampshire.
Right, but you will stay in America. America will be your home.
You can never go home. I really believe that that's true, because home, the home that I grew up in is very different. I'm very happy to say that Northern Ireland is a much better place than it was when I left it. But at the same time, it's a very different place for me. Family is scattered, friends are scattered.
Yes.
I still like to come back, and I still will come back as often as possible. Like I say, go up to Donegal and clear my head, and that's always good. But my children are American. And
with broad American accents, have they?
Oh, they're little California girls. They're little teenage brats, is what they are. It's like you have to bring them back here for a dose of reality.
What a life you've had, Vivian. I'm just, we're talking about Dio. Then there was Whitesnake.
Yeah.
There was Thin Lizzy.
I only did a brief stint with Thin Lizzy a few years back. I consider myself a stunt guitar player in Thin Lizzy. I was called in at the last minute, on loan from Def Leppard, kind of like a football player goes out on loan.
You're the reserve.
You're right. It's one of those,
Well, let's talk about Def Leppard. What is the position? Because you've been with them, 25 years now?
Quarter century, going on 26 years.
Wow.
Indeed, yeah.
What's the position with them now? How often do you get together with them?
We work a lot. We just finished doing 3 weeks in South America and Mexico, and that was incredible. I mean, we just played to 100,000 people in Rio de Janeiro, and most of the audience are young enough to be our children. So that's very encouraging. There is an upside to music piracy, I believe, that younger people are being exposed to a lot of music, a lot of classical music, classical rock. I mean, they're not necessarily buying records anymore, but the music industry is still supporting itself in other ways. The live music industry is very healthy, especially for a band
you
like
don't
us.
fit the picture of a rock god.
I am not. I'm a musician.
You're a rock god, Vivian.
No.
You've no tattoos.
I have no tattoos. My teenage brat daughter just got one because she went to college. She's 18 now, and I can't stop her. She started Boston University a couple of months ago, and she casually mentioned on the phone a couple of weeks ago,
Dad.
Oh yeah. By the way, I got a tattoo. So she sent me a picture of it, and it's it's not the.
So how have you avoided them? Because
I just don't like that kind of.
But
thing,
it does seem to go hand in hand, does it not?
I've never been too image focused, as you can probably tell. But it's always been about the music to me, and I've never felt comfortable with being called a rock star. I do think of myself as a musician, but I know that ultimately I'm an entertainer. That's what we do. When we go out with Def Leppard, we play songs and we make people happy, I suppose, by reliving their youth to an extent.
Yeah.
But I do like to keep challenging myself as a musician and keep growing as a musician. And that's why I play in so many different projects. When I'm not working with Def Leppard, I'm on tour or recording with Last in Line, which is who I'm performing with here tonight.
Tonight, yeah.
And that's the remnants of the original Dio band. And, we play Dio songs. We play some original music from our album that came out a couple of years ago. And we're working on our second album. And aside from that, I'm in a third band called River Dogs, a band I was with in the late 80s. We made one album, went nowhere. So we just got together recently and made another record. And so I keep very busy.
So you're keeping 3 or 4 bands going at the one time?
3. We're not going 4. But, I do keep very, very busy because I genuinely believe you are what you do. And I always want to just be a guitar player in a rock band. So I've been very fortunate I get to do that. And, the different projects that I get involved in, they scratch different itches for me. With Def Leppard, we're really a slick, well-produced a very high level production band, great vocals, all live vocals, and that's really the focus in that band, is the quality of the songwriting and the quality of the singing and the performance and the production. With Last in Line, it's all about guitar. You know, anyone who sees me playing there tonight, I don't even sing with Last in Line. I just want to put my head down and
just play
guitar. That reconnects me to my inner 17-year-old, because that's where I started. I just wanted to be a guitar player in a band.
Is age no barrier to rock music?
Well, it's a state of mind, you know. Physically, it does get more difficult. You know, you kind of do slow down a bit as you get a bit older, but you know, we don't leap off the drum riser doing splits anymore, you know, or go sliding around on our knees on the stage. But, you know, the great thing about being a musician is, unlike being an athlete, there's not a finite window of time. You do actually get to grow in it. You get to get better. I genuinely believe I'm a better musician than I was 20, 30 years ago. You know, if I were a football player, I would have retired a long time ago.
But you can still learn.
You can still learn. Yeah, absolutely. You got to keep learning. Otherwise, you know, you're just treading water. So
we've done very well in Northern Ireland, wouldn't we, for the guitars? You know, there's Gary Moore.
Yes, well, Gary was the ultimate guitar
Wasn't he
hero.
just?
He was the greatest guitar player there ever was. You know, Rory Gallagher was my first guitar hero until I discovered Gary Moore, and then that was my focus. So
fantastic.
Yeah, we've done well with guitar players.
Haven't we just? Are you worried about tonight? Have you got the speech ready?
That's the only thing I'm concerned about. As I was saying to you earlier, I've had a long career of being in so many bands.
But you've had awards before.
No. When I was with Hillsborough Boys, I was 12 years old playing football. That was it.
You've had never had any Def Leppard has numerous awards.
Well, I mean, they give you record awards, but that's not like an awards ceremony, you know. And anytime I'm with Def Leppard and we're doing anything public, you know, Joe is the figurehead.
He's the spokesman. Yeah.
So I just get there, stand there,
smile in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
So tonight you are a bit nervy about tonight.
I am, but you know, I don't want to bore people with a long-winded speech, and I don't want to forget to mention someone, you know. So it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, almost, you know. Because there's a lot of people I should thank for all of it, you know. So,
but it does mean something to you. It
means a lot to me. Yeah, I mean, I don't put a lot of stock in awards normally. You know, I've lived in LA, and everyone's pats himself in the back a lot there, you know. So it's not something I would put a lot of stock in normally, but this means a lot to me because it's from the people of Northern Ireland, and you know, it's a recognition of my overall career, you know, and the fact that I'm
and not
still
before
here
time, Vivian. Not before.
Thank you very
time.
much.
Congratulations on the award anyway tonight. That's all in the Mandela Hall tonight.
Mandela Hall, yep.
The award will be presented, and you're playing as well.
I'm going to play after the awards presented. I go on stage. We're doing a full set with Last in Line. It's myself and Vinny Appice, the original Dio drummer, Andy Freeman, Eric Norlander, Phil Suzanne, and the band's great. I mean, it's great fun. So
it'll be a great night. Vivian, it's a joy talking to you. Thanks so much for coming in. Will you play something for us before you leave us?
I will indeed.
What'll it be?
It'll be a Def Leppard song. Now, bear in mind, I'm not the lead singer in Def Leppard, but you might recognise the song if I don't.
All right, he's going to move over now to another chair are performing here. And just to say that Vivian is being recognised tonight with the Legend Award from the OEA Centre, which he says he's very, very nervous about. Vivian, whenever you're ready.
All right, sir.
This is a real treat for me. This is like a personal show from Star of Def Leppard.
Hang on, we didn't get too excited yet. Touch out of reach, yeah. You can try to get closer to me. I'm in love, I'm in deep, yeah. Hypnotized, I'm shaking to my knees. I gotta know tonight if you're alone tonight. Can't stop this feeling, can't stop this fire.
hysteria, well, can you feel it? It's such a magical mysteria when you get the feeling. Just say you will, just say you will, oh babe, I can get hysteria when you're near. Out of me into you, yeah. You can't hide, oh no, it's just a one-way street. I believe I'm in you, yeah. Open wide, just take me off my feet. Believe in me, I gotta know tonight. If you're alone tonight, can't stop this feeling, can't stop this fire. I get hysteria, hysteria, well, can you feel it? It's such a magical hysteria when you get the feeling. Just say you will, just say you will, oh babe. Just say you will, just say you will, oh babe. I can get hysteria when you're near.
That's the voice of the fabulous Vivian Campbell. Vivian, thank you so much indeed. Enjoy the night up at the Mandela Hall. I'm sure there's a few tickets still left to go along and see you, are there?
I have no idea, Jerry.
There may be a few. There would be a few. Vivian, it's been a joy. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.